Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Today, we're going to talk about Bill Gates' appeal and if it's safe. I did a pretty thorough research on Google to see if it was safe. And as I was reading the pages, it looked really safe until I took one additional look at the ingredients of this appeal. And one of the things that was listed is his 99.34% of this product is listed as other ingredients. Other ingredients? It doesn't tell you what's in it. So right there is a big red flag. There's no transparency. There's a lot of problems with this product. We don't know if they added carrageenan in there, which creates a lot of problems for people. And some of the other edible coatings that they use are things like beeswax, which I think is a lot better, but they also use like shellac. I mean, don't they use shellac in woodworking, staining, or sometimes they'll put that on your nails? Is that safe? So I learned a lot about these coatings that they're apparently putting on our fruits and vegetables, especially if you bring these fruits or vegetables home and you want to clean them off, right? So if you have this appeal coating around it, how are you going to take the pesticides out if it's conventional? You might want to just buy fruits or vegetables that don't have this coating. And yes, they might go bad a little bit quicker, but at least you can wash them off with something more natural.
Thank you so much to my sister-in-law, Terry, for bringing this to my attention. Now, I had heard of shellac. In fact, we actually covered it in one of my previous episodes. I'm going to cover it again right after this just because it's super interesting. But this appeal stuff apparently is like causing a lot of issues. Like people just are not wanting to eat it because you don't know what it is and you can't wash it off of your produce. And the thing about produce is a lot of it is picked way before it's ripe, covered with this stuff, and then stored for months. There was even a study that I watched recently that said that some apples are over a year old. Like they've been off of the tree for over a year before you get them to your house. And which is crazy because they're like, boom, ripe. And then the next day they're garbage. So two of the well-known side effects for this appeal coating are damages to the eyes and skin irritation. So like rashes and stuff like that. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by. If you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, it'll really help out my channel. And if this is the kind of content that you enjoy, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow because I'm making a new video every day.
You eat this insect every day. Do you like shiny food, beautiful chocolates and candies? Then you definitely tried E904, a food additive known as shellac, which obtained from the resin and mucus secreted by the female lug bug, which makes chocolate candies, peels and fruits very shiny. You can find it in Ferrero, Kinder Chocobones, Chocolate, Milka, Mentos, Galaxy and others. E904 is also used as glazing agent for fruits like peaches, apples, melons or citrus fruits. It is also approved for coffee beans.
So the interesting thing about the shellac before it's put onto the produce, it's mixed with like an alcohol or a solvent kind of thing. So that way when it's sprayed on, it's super, fine and dilute, but it's still secretions from a bug. So quick heads up to anybody who's vegan. If you're eating these fruits that are covered in this stuff, you're eating deceased bug remnants. I'm not sure of any irritations from shellac. It's used in all kinds of everything. Anything that says confectioner's glaze, it's shellac. It's bug stuff.
If you are trying to avoid appeal-coated produce, check out this list of stores that are carrying appeal and some that are not. Here is a list of stores that have confirmed that they do not carry any appeal produce. And these are just some of the stores that do sell appeal-coated produce, and make sure you read the caption for many more.
So there are options for, produce that doesn't have this appeal stuff on it, so you don't have to be supporting Bill Gates. You'd be all right. There's supposedly also a sticker on your produce if it has this stuff on it. So, yeah.
We spend about $8 billion a year with the National Science Foundation. Is it getting any better? Are they doing a better job at overseeing their money? Well, I don't know. This bill is going to increase their funding by 68%. There's $29 billion in this bill for the National Science Foundation. So don't you think the American people deserve to know where their money's being spent? This next study points out a problem with funding in general in our government. You give funds for something that ostensibly might be a good cause. So a couple of years ago, they gave money for autism, $700,000 for autism. You think, well, autism, even myself, as conservative as I am, I could probably say, well, that's something we ought to study, autism. Well, they subcontracted $700,000 of it to a bunch of egghead researchers to watch Neil Armstrong's statement on the moon. You remember the black and white photo? He's on the moon, and he says, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, or did he really say one small step for a man? So these researchers took $700,000 to listen to that crackly old cassette recording and find out, did he say man or did he say a man? So we studied the preposition a, and we spent $700,000 listening to the tape over and over and over again. And you know what they determined? They just can't decide. They're unsure, but they did recommend more money to study the problem further.
I'm going to leave a link to this entire video in the description. It's like 6.5 minutes. I didn't want to put the whole thing in, but it is just incredible the amount of money that is being wasted on some of the stupidest things, like that have no sense in being researched. I don't understand. Like he said, though, there was money that was supposed to be going to autism, but it goes to finding out what the heck Neil Armstrong said when he landed on the moon. Because we just can't possibly allow him to have made a mistake in the greatest accomplishment in our, society's history. But the dude messed up. It is what it is. But watch that video. It's fantastic.
Jana Mendez was chief of disguises for the CIA for 27 years. She was so confident in her ability to disguise herself that she decided to wear one of her masks to meet President George H.W. Bush at the Oval Office. She did a whole presentation on the CIA's advanced disguise technology while wearing one of the disguises, and he didn't notice a thing. He was sitting like 2 feet from her. She even told him she was wearing a disguise, and he got up and walked around her, and he still couldn't tell what about her appearance was fake. And remember, Bush Sr. was former director of the CIA, so when she finally peeled her entire face off, he was apparently thrilled. All of these photos used to be classified, but now they're allowed to be circulated, I think because everybody knows this is just a really good story.
Yeah. That's been going on for a while. Totally can't even tell that they're wearing masks. Here's another really cool project.
Feel it. Another technique that we used with the masks was an operation called Lying Doggo. We had a couple getting ready to go to Moscow, and we asked them to buy a dog and take the dog with them, a very large dog, a particular dog. We went to our wig maker. We showed the wig maker a picture of the great big dog, and she made, not a wig, but she made a dog, just a covering that looked like a dog that you could put in the back seat of a car, and it would look like your dog was asleep in the back seat. That couple would set a pattern of I don't know how often, but every so often, they would leave the embassy compound with their dog. And so the man at the gate would get used to seeing them go through the gate with their dog in the back seat. Not always asleep, sometimes asleep. And then when we needed operationally to move a person, that person would get in the car under the dog concealment and go through the gate, and the Millie man would blink twice. And that was a way to move a person around.
That is absolutely brilliant. I mean, it sure beats the heck out of putting them like under the seat or in the trunk of the car or something like that, but just like, hey, get them used to seeing your dog. And then we're going to use this fake dog as cover. That's brilliant.
North Carolina. And he was a very conservative guy who was very, very...
Oh my gosh, that's a mask.
African-American when he shot him.
Holy cow.
He always had fights. Well, the key to success...
Speaking of masks, I've seen a lot of these floating around, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because why would we put a mask on somebody that would do what they did at the debate? I still think that something's got to be done about his health, and it's not okay. Whether I like the man or not, or his politics, it doesn't matter. He's a human being, for crying out loud, and the poor guy's got some issues, and nobody's doing anything about it. We're all just propping him up for why?
Breaking news coming out that today Russian President Vladimir Putin, we are hearing he has made an announcement. As yesterday, he came out and said that the nuclear treaty that they had that has now come to an end, that those banned missiles, those nuclear missiles that were once banned, they are now going to start creating those in mass. And they are preparing those missiles for potential nuclear war. Now, in addition to that, we've also heard that they are saying they're going to be distributing these missiles that they're creating with their ally nations, positioning them to be in striking range of the United States and NATO nations as well. Now, this announcement, as I mentioned, these articles, are coming out today. This announcement took place yesterday, Friday. And also, we heard that Vladimir Putin, he has been sparking World War III fears, warning the use of nuclear weapons is on the Russian agenda, saying that if their sovereignty is threatened, they will use nuclear force. And then we're just hearing that just yesterday, they said they're going to be creating those banned nuclear missiles and preparing them.
It sure has been a busy couple weeks, hasn't it? So Putin sends some ships down here to Cuba to do their military exercises, and then he goes over to North Korea to rub some elbows, right? And now he's saying, hey, we're definitely going to start making these nuclear weapons, and we're going to strategically place them so we can get you. It's getting crazy. Plus, we just automatically started enlisting, people between 18 and 26 for our draft. I mean, even though they were supposed to be registered anyway, now it's automatic to make sure. But there sure have been a lot of moves being made in the last 2 weeks, haven't there?
What? What is that? What is that? Whoa! It's UFO! Oh, what is that? Moving. Yeah, that's more like closer. What the heck? Right? Doesn't it look a little bit? There's like a whole... Also, how is the smoke just staying? What? The letter writing thing.
Oh my goodness, I wonder if it's aliens. Just kidding, I know it's not. It was Elon Musk sending up some satellites just like right over there. We saw it in our backyard too. It was kind of cool.
The reason why so many people were seeing UFO spacecrafts all of a sudden is because of this. We will make contact in 2024. They were just getting everyone mentally ready for it. I just came across a video of someone on an airplane recording a UFO right next to him. Then I found another video of someone walking in the woods, and guess what they seen? A UFO craft. This UFO was captured in South America. It's happening worldwide. It's not just UFOs people are seeing. These monoliths are popping up everywhere. These aliens are using these monoliths to watch everything we do. There was a Hollywood director by the name of Stanley Kubrick. He made this movie 2001 Space Odyssey, and he had a monolith inside of this movie. He tried to explain to the people that these aliens use these monoliths like it's a TV. Well, basically, this is a big ass flat screen TV that these aliens use to watch us on this planet. These aliens been on this planet for thousands of years. They were just hiding behind the scenes, but it's no more hiding. We will make physical contact with these life forms. A lot of us are walking around as star seeds, but don't even remember. Where do you think they got the movie Star Wars from? Star Wars, not a fake movie. They're trying to tell you what happened to us in the universe. It's so many of us that's walking around right now with no memory of our true identity. What if I told you you are a royal starseed? We have a royal bloodline, but it's been hidden from us. Everything will be exposed in 2024 when these aliens make their first contact with us. A lot of us are going to be so mind blown when we figure out who we really are. There's only so much I can say about this topic because TikTok is watching certain channels. As you can see, I was just banned with over 200,000 followers. If you want to know more about these topics, you can check out both of my ebooks, Shadows of the Matrix. The website is at the bottom of the screen.
Every single year is going to be the year that aliens are going to reveal themselves to us. Like this year, we're supposed to also have Operation Bluebeam, which is when we have a whole bunch of fake aliens. They're going to invade, and then there's going to be this one uprising of a god that will like destroy all of the aliens, and then we'll all join together and worship this one god. So we're excited about that, right? I love aliens. I would love for something fantastic to happen with aliens, but it's always, oh, this year it's going to happen, and then nothing. So we're already halfway through this year, so my hopes aren't extremely high, but you never know. Every once in a while, I come across a video that shows men doing a job, and it's very obviously a man's job. And it's great. I like it. But it makes me think of all these women, these feminist women that want to have equality, and they're exactly the same as men, and they should be treated the same as men. Where are you at? Because only like 3% of the people on oil rigs are women. And even less than that is the actual roughnecks doing that work. So, you know, you only want equality in certain fields, or is it across the board? Because you want to stand and yell about stuff. I don't think you get to be picky. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.